2 big packs in mine, but I need to get it. I need to get 2 more big packs and another bag. Very, very early on Wednesday morning, we are surrounded by a plethora of fully packed luggage. We are still waiting on 2 travel companions. The Copa people have not shown up yet, but we are here in full effect.
And what time is it? How much sleep did you get last night?
4:42 in the morning. I don't think we slept last night, thanks to me forgetting my passport at home. We laid down for a half-hour shower, so we're kind of running on fumes.
No, I think it'll be an exciting trip. It'll be a new adventure. Looking forward to it.
We are ready for takeoff. All current luggage should be placed in the overhead compartment or under the seat in front of you.
All right, you guys. So we just landed in Cuba, loaded the car full of shit. What was the experience like?
Oh my god.
It was one I will never forget.
That's the beauty of traveling.
Watching you get specially selected for screening by immigration was fun.
That was step one.
Then we managed to get most of the bags.
Yes, and we had a look because we didn't know what you had brought, so that was fun opening up
And we
maybe
had
other
enough
people's
time
luggage.
that I managed to change out of my Michigan clothes or Chicago clothes into shorts and a tank top. And then we got Luca.
Then we got Luca finally.
And then we had to go through.
But we got to watch him go through all of his bags again.
Oh yeah, yep. They searched his bag again.
But she didn't take the straight iron.
We thought she was going to take the flat iron, but she didn't.
That was
it was questionable though. Just to be noted, the flat iron and it was brand new was questionable. She asked her supervisor about it. The pink bag gets checked. 3 out of the 5 of us and 8 out of the 10 bags make it out the door. Luca and I get stuck with 2 bags that they want to check for every single pair of shoes that we brought to donate to charity. And then they start asking, well, where's Carlos? Because neither one of these suitcases were registered to me or Luca. And I said, well, Carlos is already outside with the other 2 people in our party and our other 8 bags. You let them go.
That's so terrible. But it makes me giggle that you guys had to go through it. I'm sorry.
But you know what? We didn't lose anything. We didn't lose any shoes. We didn't lose any toiletry items.
We got it all through.
Yeah, we got it all through. And it's all going to go to an amazingly good cause. So
it'll be great.
It was worth it, right?
It was worth it. It was awesome.
Somehow we're all squeezed in here. You can see the luggage all over on our laps and everything like that. So it'll definitely be a memorable, so far, good start to a very memorable trip.
Adventures in Cuba 2020.
It's been quite the little hour and a half experience since touching down. But yeah, things are rolling literally. So I'm looking forward to the near future, things calming down and things getting rolling and having some pleasant adventures. But it's already cool. It's like pretty, it's picturesque. After we passed customs, everyone's been very helpful and optimistic.
This is my 3rd time here. 2 out of 3 times so far I've been privately screened in the back, and then they just like take your passport and disappear for 35 minutes, and in that time 5 people come to you and say, oh, 5 minutos, and then they leave for like 20 minutes apiece. Finally, I get my passport back, and the lady pretends that she was actually looking for me, which is great because I haven't moved like more than 10 feet since they told me to stand there, right? So one time I actually listened to directions and follow them, right?
Just once.
Just once. And then it was like the little, basically the little circus that ensued afterwards with all the bag checks. They actually counted every pair of shoes, and they told us it was too many, and I thought they were just going to charge us individually for the shoes. So I said, look, if it's too many, because she was handing us 5 back of these and 5 back of this and whatever else, I said just take them, because quite honestly I don't mind if it actually ends up even going to the workers here at the airport, right? I think their average salary is like $15 a month or something. So I'm really like, I would have been fine if that's what had actually ended up happening, but that didn't happen. We got out with everything that we came with. And so far nothing's missing, and we have all our people too, right? So that's good.
I can smell it. It's revolution. Watch out.
Okay, just hold tight.
So we're carrying these up.
to the very top, I think.
Okay. One at a time.
Where's the elevator?
Is this your room?
I don't know. I was just looking at all of them. Do you and your dad want to take the one with the 2 beds? So
Probably.
You don't have to cuddle?
Probably.
Okay, good.
What if I want to cuddle?
That's no. Fine.
So this is one of how many that we brought here, actually?
We all brought one personal piece of luggage, correct? So we have 5 of these great big suitcases.
We have more than that. Every single person checked in 2.
Yes, I checked in 2.
Yeah.
Trainers, tennis shoes. We've got socks. Lots of good, clean, brand new socks. What did she call them? Chonkless? Lots of chonkless. And what I hear, they're good for throwing at your kids. I'm gonna have to try that one of these days.
I'm like right here.
You're an awfully big target there, bud.
All that stuff. Sorry. Cool. So it was good. He was happy to get help.
Alright, and this is the bag that I brought. And this is absolutely 100% all kid stuff, including some cute little wolf paw slippers. I think there's a pair of Elmo slippers in here too. Because you know, every kid needs a little Sesame Street in their lives. I'm a little tired, but I feel good.
All right.
Once the sun comes out, I think we're gonna have a rip-roaring, rockin' good time.
Oh, good this morning. Had an awesome breakfast. I was amazed when she brought in to like set the table, and that was just so cool. So it was really wonderful. So, wonderful treat for the guys.
Smoking in the restaurant.
In the restaurant. I just think
So we
it's
don't see that
the
back home.
richness of everything. Like the richness of the colors, all the old things that are still there.
The richness of the cigar smoke.
Yeah, I don't know. Just the art and the culture and the things that you don't get, like in Columbus, Indiana. You don't have that, and everything's very unique here. And that is not, you just don't see it. So
Look at the
it
babies
was a wonderful
in the uniforms
experience.
going to school.
There were lots of kids out, like the people out at night. It's midnight. They're getting out, getting food. Everybody's walking around. That surprised me.
Observation of the day is hairy things.
Furry. We prefer furry to hairy.
Yeah, it sucks. Back seat's cool. You got that window, but I just can't hear anything you guys are saying. I catch like every 5th word, you know.
When you're here, you're in Mexico, and nothing, you have to learn to get by. It's just,
We say in Cuba, after a few drinks, you can speak Spanish much better. Yeah. Yeah, it's true. Yeah, it's true. Yeah. So where do you live in America?
Michigan.
Oh, Michigan.
Up by Canada. Very cold.
So I met beautiful people from Minnesota.
Yeah.
They are Americans.
Yes.
But I always say beautiful people. Yeah.
Midwestern people.
You know,
Yo tango for you.
Me falta, quiero una cerveza.
Yeah, right.
eso es muy importante. Yeah.
Speak.
Bear, Dinosaur, Moses. The wall painting received more than 4,000 visitors per month. Most of them from Canada, Germany, and Spain. And it's very common now, French.
Okay.
So, Europeans, yeah.
You want to toss you with ice coming out or without? With rum or without?
With rum, yeah. Don't know yet.
Vete. Yeah, it's on the sweet side.
Okay.
Gracias. Yeah, I'm hungry, man.
Tengo hambre.
Tengo hambre.
All of them were working together to help
Yeah,
find
they were
hat.
taking bets
Lots
on who had a hat that could fit me. So we went to 3 different guys, and then finally, like, this one guy was like, I got you. And he knew where it was. He like found it under a pile, and he ripped it, popped it, and it fits, man. It looks ridiculous. I look ridiculous, but
Who cares?
You need a hat. It works.
I know.
While you were gone, we were planning your wedding. Yeah.
What the fuck am I marrying now?
Well, probably not me
no,
because they already
definitely not you.
well, they already thought we were married, and I'm like, no. I just when people see us together, they feel sorry for me, and I like that empathy, right? It's like better than yeah. So.
Yeah, you lucky son of a bitch. You're hanging out with me in
Getting
Cuba.
married on the beach on Saturday. Let's go.
Conga! ¿La has escuchado? ¿Has escuchado la Guantanamera? Con soles de primavera para blancar la bandera, gracias. Con la luz de tu sonrisa, muchas gracias. Aquí se queda la clara, la entrañable transparencia de tu querida presencia, comandante Che Guevara.
Created in the Jurassic period. At that time, the Ireland was on the sea. Mm-hmm. On the sea. Under the sea.
I love that song.
Under the sea or on the sea?
Under the sea.
Under the sea.
Or under the ocean.
Under the ocean. Yeah. Debajo del océano.
Nope.
Pásame el delante, mira. Mira aquí.
¿Cómo?
One more. Y al lado un cerdito in front of crocodile hair.
Alligator face.
A pig.
A pig.
Indian boot.
Huh?
It's a boot. So now there is a fold, and we're gonna.
Okay. It's okay. So what if, oh, I should have tipped.
Okay, here we go. Amigo, tu tequila.
Be careful.
Hey.
Cuidado.
For all American people, when I started here in this job, I had a different opinion about American people, and it changed completely. You are really, really similar to Cuban. You're happy, you talk, you're really, the most common people we have is American people.
Most common people.
Yeah,
we love you
yeah,
guys too,
yeah,
man.
yeah,
we
really,
love you guys. Thank you.
And some of the media, right? Like
Oh,
putting
absolutely.
in some of the like, oh, we can't go is kind of fearful. So, yeah, you don't.
So people from
Yes.
Colorado and Ohio, actually, and Michigan, can go to Cuba.
Yes.
Yeah.
All of the above.
And what's your experience been like so far?
It's been awesome.
How long have you been here?
We've been here 3 or 4 days.
4 days.
I don't remember.
Okay.
I lost track of time
4 days.
We're
already.
here about 24 hours.
Perfect.
Oh, nice.
This is a nice spot.
Toma mi mano, camina conmigo.
Season, this is November, you plant in November and you record in February, March. For example, the leaf, the tobacco, we don't put all together, all leaf together, because all leaf is not the same quality. We have to take the 3 or 4 leaf, and after 10 days, 12 days, 3 or 4 leaf more, and after we take the top of the plant. When you put the leaf here in the house, you separate different part of the plants in different place of the house.
Oh.
Because when you roll a cigar, you put different time in the cigar.
It's put together.
Is it?
That was still that's pretty impressive.
Oh, yeah.
7 days. Complete, or at least
engaging, and they love to talk. They love to talk about Cuba. They're very proud of Cuba, and it's really refreshing to see that, because I feel like as an American, that's something that we don't really have here.
So those jackets work? It's okay? The jacket? Yeah? Okay. Yeah,
Yes.
Getting to see the Buena Vista Social Club in person was something I didn't ever really consider to be a possibility, a real possibility for my lifetime. And it wasn't until the Obama administration had eased some of the sanctions on Americans visiting Cuba that I even considered it a remote possibility. And when this trip came about and it was suggested that we put that on the agenda, I was just the suggestion was pretty exciting to me. I had kind of just always pushed that out of the back of my head. When I was a much younger man, I had purchased some of the Buena Vista Social Club CDs and enjoyed listening to it, especially listening to it with my mother, who had an appreciation for Cuban music. And Ibrahim Ferrer he's just a gem.
We were side by side most of the time, walked around, saw the same things that she saw, and it was a very, very busy day. Did a lot of walking, a lot more walking than what I'm used to. Again, I don't think there were any Americans other than us. Obviously, Americans don't have a big arrow or a sign pointing to them or anything like that, but when you're out there's some things that you can tell, and nobody was speaking English. Maybe a little British in there, but I mean, most of it was Spanish. Didn't really hear any English, so I don't think Americans really come down here. And obviously, before coming down here myself, I didn't think we could. So, it's very interesting. People are extremely friendly, and again, when you're talking to them, and they find out you're American, oh, we love Americans. Please come down. And they didn't want to kiss me as much as Allison, but again, I think they like kissing Allison.
And that is another thing that I will say as a blonde, white American female, I have never felt more exotic in my life. People were staring as I was walking by, double taking, telling their friends to turn around and look. One of Luca's friends complimented me on my hair color, said she could never achieve that. It's really been an experience, because back home I look just like everybody else, and here I definitely don't.
Well, there was one individual, I'm not too sure what it was. Was it a growl when he walked by or something?
Yeah, he walked behind me and I turned and looked, and he growled again and kept walking. And I told Brad apparently that he'd growl at pretty women in Havana.
One of the things to take into consideration here is any woman who's walking next to me, if she's, let's say, a 5, she automatically gets boosted to an 8 or a 9. I'm not saying Allison's that, but it ends up happening. I said to Dodge, I thought there might be a fist coming from behind, right?
A few people want to know, are we? What's the relationship between the two of us here? So.
Yep. We had to explain that a couple of times. I tried to explain that this is my friend's father, and they weren't getting it, and it's probably my toddler Spanish that couldn't put things together properly, but got across that we were friends, and everybody that we met was wonderful. I really can't complain. Would it be okay if I stop by? I have some US dollars that I need to exchange for Coke. Are you going to be home? Do you have 200? Perfect. I will see you in a little bit. Gracias. No, Luca's not coming with me. You get the best part of this duo. He is going to come to see you later. Okay, perfect. Okay. She said that's okay because she wants to talk to me anyway. We had a great breakfast. Our casa owner has arranged for somebody to come in every morning whenever we ask, or whatever time we say, and have breakfast. And again, it was eggs pretty much flat like a tortilla, some small toasted bread that I think we would consider maybe like a croquette at home. Lots of fresh fruit. The pineapple was delicious. The papaya was delicious. You can tell that this stuff is readily available. Bananas, because they eat a lot of it. We had some gusting rains and a little bit of typhoon type action in the morning, but that dwindled down, and then we headed off on foot and took off toward Hotel Nacional and did some sightseeing, bought some rum, went to the hotel, got to tour the bunkers that they dug during the Cuban Missile Crisis. Got a tour of that, which was good. Came back, went down and got some food. I ordered a hamburger, and she had to warn me that the hamburger was actually pork, which I knew was going to be the case, so that was absolutely fine. And then came back, went to the market, which is very interesting. When we bought our food, this little juice box, just like any other juice box that you would see in America, you can probably buy a 6-pack of these for $2.50, 8-pack of these for $2.50 in the States. This was 25 pesos, which is essentially 1 crook or $1 US. So 4 of these cost me $4.
A car for the middle class there is pretty much out of reach. A small car there from a small French Peugeot is like 200,000 US. And if a family decides that they want a car, they all have to invest in it and share it and make the most of it. And it's almost like having a second home, which is inconceivable here. You can get a small car here for brand new for less than $20,000, and you can certainly get a used car for $5,000. And for an American, that's pretty easy to do, regardless of your income or what class you might be. In Cuba, that just wasn't the case. A car is kind of a luxury for most folks, and it took me a little while to wrap my head around that. And then getting fuel for that car was also something that I found to be very difficult in Cuba. We saw lines for gas stations in Havana that were a quarter mile long at least, and it seemed like the people were pretty used to that.
Interestingly enough, for this 25 peso thing of juice, you can get an entire pack of cigarettes for 40 pesos, which absolutely blew my mind. Tobacco is so plentiful here. It can be made cheaply and readily available, but things like this, even though this says that it's made in Cuba, it's expensive, and this is the type of stuff that parents need to have around. They don't necessarily need cheap rum. I managed to get this entire bottle of white rum for about $6.50. This kind of rum at home for this type of bottle is probably going to cost me around $20. So again, it's just another indication of what's readily available and what they have to work a little bit harder for. So now, I only brought a couple of pairs of socks because I was planning on wearing sandals most of the time. But we've done a lot of walking and touring, so my couple pairs of socks are dirty, and I don't have laundry detergent, and there's no washing machine here, so I'm going to wash my socks in the sink with dishwashing detergent. Oh my gosh, the store, it was such a culture shock. It was in the basement. I had to go down into it. There were some standalone freezers on the right-hand side as I walked in, and the cashier was on the left. As you walk in further, there's 2 more full-size freezers on the ground, and they're back to back, and there's a sign above them, and it's handwritten what's available that day. There was another shelf on the wall completely empty, and then another shelf up against the other freezer that was completely full of water, and I bought a 12-pack of water essentially for $1.90. So cheap readily available, but that store stank. It stank so bad, and there was a woman walking out that was covering her nose as she was walking out, and I don't necessarily know as a spoiled American that I would have purchased food there and trusted it. And if this is what the Cuban people have to choose from every day, I really feel bad for them. There's no Meijer or Kroger or Piggly Wiggly or, you know, Giant Eagle that you can walk in and get everything you need. And even like a Walgreens or a Rite Aid, you could run in and you could get dishwashing detergent and soap and juice and a bottle of rum and be done with it. And they just don't have that here. And going to the market here, it makes it glaringly apparent how many things are missing out of day-to-day Cuban life for the people that they just can't walk into a store and purchase. And if they could they even afford it? Because this is essentially a half-month salary for a Cuban who makes 15 cook a month. So it's just a different world. It's just a very, very different world. And the bright shining spot in all of this is really the Cuban people. The Cuban people that I've met and interacted with, the first thing that they say when I tell them that I'm American, they ask me to come back.
Say hi. Hi.
They come back, please come back. You love Cuba, the Cuban people love you. Warm hugs, kisses. I'm very, very happy to have us here.
About our country, well, and what we think about Americans, well, we have a very long history between the countries. We have bonds that unify the two countries. Americans have been in Cuba from a long time in the 20th century, and that's the thing that we can't forget. And we don't hate Americans, so my generation don't hate Americans. We don't think that anymore. So I think that you can came to our country and see that it's a beautiful country, that we are a beautiful people, that we smile and we are funny and we are familiar and we love all the good people that want to came to our country, and we don't have any problem with Americans. At least that's what I think. And I think that all my generation, our generation, thinks the same. So what? Nice when you shoot and she don't speak whatever she's saying.
We're at the Christopher Columbus cemetery, and this is essentially, I don't know if you want to move closer at all or not, but you can see the bodies are essentially put in the ground, and I'm estimating that the head was over there just by the sort of stains and spots of the oils coming out of the body and everything. But the clothing, the body essentially just disintegrates, and you have the clothing left. And so we were walking around yesterday in the cemetery. You can find the more broken ones if you look to your right, over there in sort of that condition. But then you look a little bit closer and you'll actually see this, and it was a strange material, but the bodies disintegrate, and that's why the same people will be buried, like the same family can actually be used in one crypt repeatedly. And the wood holds out longer than the body does, So they'll just pull the wood out and leave it out in front like this, and I think maybe they pick it up once a week or whatever else. But this is the typical coffin here that we have. And you can see the bugs in here as well. If you've gotten